Welcome. My name is Jacqui Krystal and I'm presenting again LYFE, which is LYFE, Love You Forever, or as I see it, Living Your Fullest Evolution. And each time we introduce someone from the community with a question that I answer in the moment, you can take whatever information you need from our little interview here and apply it as you need to in your own life path, or perhaps maybe never, but it's given in interest as another point of view. So today with me I have Harry. So Harry, thank you very much for being part of this process. What I love is that in introducing a question that you might have interest in, there are others out there that will share potentially the same interest. So this is a good way of communicating and linking a community, which is what my desire is. So, if we were to look at a question for today, what would you like me to answer, essentially, respond to?
A question which follows from our previous conversation.
Yeah, we've had many conversations, so
yes,
in this moment.
Just where do we go from here?
Okay, and when you say where do we go from here in life, so after life, or
no, where we are now.
Okay, so how do you make?
Which I suppose it follows on into the ether as well eventually.
Okay, so if I'm being clear within this, like, are you talking about insofar as decisions to be made in life generally, or so because we're here, we're having we're living our life, we're getting up on a day-to-day basis. People have got different things to contend with. Are you talking about whether you get, like, if you get stuck in a moment and you need to move forward from that, or are you talking something else, or what?
Well, I guess so, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're here now, and you're wondering which direction you're going to take.
Okay, so decision-making model sort of thing, is that?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, so actually it's interesting because on my blog recently I've written about confusion, how to get through that indecisiveness, and that may be something as well that people want to have a look at if they've got resonance with that question. In any sort of, let's call it crossroads or any direction, a lot of the time there'll be like a transit towards the end of it generally, where you'll feel very much in the void. So what will be happening is that as a process, you've made a decision. Say you made a decision, say 2 years ago as an example, and this is when you normally get yourself into lockdown, when it's a larger decision in life rather than smaller ones, although some people do find small decisions hard to make too. So what you need to do is, in reflection, like say right now you go, I can go A or I can go B. It's almost like you've got to take yourself back to the motivational point of when you first decided that. So it could be 2 years ago, it could be a couple of seconds ago. And you say, what did my heart feel? What did I know in that moment? Why did I decide that? Because you decided on something because it was something that you wanted to experience, or something that felt right to do that. Decisions within us is something that we have difficulty in trusting, but what we do is we have an intuition and we go against it, which is where confusion comes in, or where indecision comes in, that we don't listen to that gut knowingness, that we judge it and we say, oh, but that's going to hurt that person, or that's going to have that effect there, or that you look at the outcomes, or the potential outcomes, not even the real outcomes, and you then try and modify what you know to be your truth. Yeah, and a lot of times that's because we're trained to conform as a society, and we're conditioned, so we do look for the best societal or group or external outcome, but our truth and our best moves forward always come from internal, not external, motivation and application. And so that takes courage because it goes against all of society and how we've been programmed. Yeah. Am I making sense at the moment about things? Yeah. So in going forward, how do you go forward? You remind yourself of your first or your initial decision, your initial response, choice, reaction, whatever it was. And you say, that's what felt right back then. I don't need to question it anymore. I just need to action it. And then you get movement forward. You might then feel like you're stepping into or stepping across a cliff face with this huge chasm, because it's like, gosh, fears of safety and things like that can also come up in large change points in time once you make that decision. But you'll also feel a relief if it is the right decision. You will feel a positive that will come from it as well, or a freedom more so, because souls are generally about freedom. A lot of us want to be in free state. If you feel that, then you're on the right path. If you're feeling anything outside of that, like an anxiety that will prohibit that truth of yours, can sometimes just be a fear to do it. Okay? But if you still have that reaction of like, I have to do this, I just know I have to do this, this feels right, and you sit in that for a moment, your whole body releases, then you go, yeah, that's what it would feel like to have that, even if it's unknown as to what the outcome will be. I mean, do you know every time that you go into the ocean for a swim that you're going to be safe? Okay? You don't know. We trust it, and you know what? The people who trust it innately are fine. You know, a lot of people won't even go in the ocean because they have such fears. So what we're really doing the whole way through our decision making process is facing our fears, and that's where evolution of the soul also comes forward. And should there have been harm, just as an example, in a say someone was pulled out in a rip or something like that when they went in the water, their lesson would still be current, like in that. Like they needed that experience. Even shark attacks, there's always learning that comes from that for that person. That experience has been created for some reason. So even something that looks painful or looks dangerous, if you still have that experience, you'll find out the other side of that, that something new is birthed in a more free way, if you allow for that. Yeah, your fears will certainly come up, and it's about the travelling through that experience, having that for growth. Anyway, I'm getting way too deep now, so I'm going to leave it just there, and hope that makes a little bit of sense. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you everyone for tuning in.
And catch you next round. Take care.
See you later.